Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Two Tunes podcast. I'm Bo.
I'm Brandon.
And this is Two Tunes. And you're listening to
You're listening to Two Tunes Podcast.
You have a voice for radio.
Face for radio.
Yes.
What's up?
Not much.
How's it going?
It's going good. Oh, I watched, finally. It's weird how I did this. I watched everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah. You liked it?
I did. It was really cool.
It's the best multiverse movie of the year.
Sure.
It is.
Give me
Strange.
like two, yeah, and it's the best. It's a cool multiverse movie. There's a lot of things.
It's the best one of 2022.
Well, it's 2023. Get over it. Do you know who wrote it and directed it?
I did at the time. I don't remember now.
It's the Daniels, is what they go by.
Oh, yeah.
Dan something and Dan something.
Yeah.
Do you know what else they wrote and directed?
I probably did at the time.
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man.
Have you ever seen Swiss Army Man?
No. Who's in that?
Daniel Radcliffe, but he
I've heard
plays a
about this.
dead body.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
He does not move or talk. He
Yeah.
just plays a dead body.
I've heard of this, yes.
And the music of that was done by the guy from Manchester Orchestra.
Okay.
Tim Hall?
Sure.
Tom Hall?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland? I think it's something Hall. Anyways, and I didn't really, when you realize, if you've seen Swiss Army Man, then you kind of get like, oh yeah, this is like, there's some funny, like what's up with the hot dog finger planet? Like why do they spend so much time in that land?
Right.
In that land? It's
Yeah.
just like, who cares? But it's funny and it's like, oh, here's the comedic stuff because it kind of, it's just weird, which is a cool thing.
Well, it's kind of cool
dig
too. I like that they spent so much time in like that weird one because it's like there's gonna be some weird
Yeah.
universes. Like
Yeah.
some of it's just like a little different, and then some of it's very different. And what I like,
But
that's the problem with the Doctor Strange one is like, first, don't call it Multiverse of Madness or whatever when like the stop signs are green and this means a pizza comes in ball form or whatever. When you like glossed over all these like actual cool universes for like 2 seconds, like show what it would be like be in the paint world for a hot second, be in the dinosaur world for a hot second.
Because the
like,
paint world is similar to the rock world,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And this is like no sound, and it's like they're talking, but it's all subtitles.
Yeah.
Which is great. That was it's a good movie. So I did not catch the reference, but my wife did, and she's just like, who she doesn't recognize musical things at all, and she's like, that's from a song. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, oh, this. And then we looked it up, and it's like, oh, it's the story of a girl.
Yeah.
And then I started, like, while I'm watching the film, there's a scene where they're in, it's like right when she gets out of the universe that she's in and is in a van.
Yes. Yeah.
And
okay.
I heard,
I saw it like when it was in theaters, so it's been a while. But
and I was like, I recognize like the song's playing there, but it's like super, super low, and I didn't recognize it like completely. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I kept going, and then there's like a Dom scene, and then you hear it there, and I'm like, oh, it's there too. And then I started looking into it, and like it was like filler lines, like those lines weren't supposed to be there.
Okay.
Like they wrote the script, and those were the lines. And then he's like, that sounds familiar. Let me look it up. Oh, it's this. Well, I'll change it later. And then eventually it just became like, I'm just going to reach out to them and see if I can use it.
Yeah.
And then they did. And they're like, yeah, sure, use it.
9 days, right? Is that the
9
band?
days,
Yeah.
not session 9, something 9.
Oh.
The other band that you had mentioned, they had 9 in their name. The little black backpack. That's a different band.
Well, right, but I just when you said 9
Yeah.
days, those were the two songs that went in my head. I was like, it's either
Gotcha.
Story of a Girl or Little Black Backpack.
So,
Who knows that song?
something 9 as a number, not as spelled out. And it starts with an S. Might be session 9. So
Stroke 9.
There you go. So Session 9 is probably like a movie.
Or a metal band.
Yeah. So when they're like, yeah, we'll do this, and it's like, you know what, we're going to throw it in even more, but we're going to change it. So they changed the lyrics. So the story of a chef, the story of a dom, and there was a country version.
Yeah.
And the country version was in the car.
Okay.
So it's like, this is the story of a dom, and then the something when she smiles, but it's like, man, my safe word is smile. So
I did not pick up on it to that degree.
Well, I was reading into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but I definitely I remember like noticing it.
I did not notice it.
I don't know when in the movie though, and it was like, wait a second. Like
yeah. Cuz apparently my wife went on a field trip or a road trip or something, and this person played that song over and over and over again for like 20 hours.
Oh my.
It's like, you don't understand how many times I heard this song.
It's a good song.
It is. I then listened to that album.
Okay.
Like start to finish.
Yeah?
And I'm like,
is it okay?
Yeah, it's a good 90s pop rock album.
Is it 90s?
Well, no, it's 2000.
Okay.
So it's that
I just wasn't
transition.
sure how old it was.
Yeah, it came out in 2000. So I listened to that whole thing. I have been doing this thing where even if somebody mentions one song and I'm like, I remember that song, let me listen to the whole album. So I'll just like start to finish listen to that album. And that's kind of like, I am going to mention it now. Ethel Cain. Somebody talked about it on something, which by the way, like I've been Anthony Fantano, I've been watching his videos and then like other people's videos of end of the year stuff. And if some people describe and there's certain keywords that pop out, I'm going to listen to it. So if somebody says, concept record, I'm going to listen to it. So the Ethel Cain's record is a concept record. It's amazing. It's not like good as a story and kind of like how it fits together. Like you can kind of feel like all the songs are they're kind of, if you listen to them all on their own, they're like, yeah, this is a cool song by itself. Like it's like she had been compared to Taylor Swift in this thing. It's like, it's like Taylor Swift if blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But if you go through the record, like at first you're just like, yeah, I understand that. Okay, cool, awesome. And then there's a song that just like turns the whole thing, and you're like, wow,
like a good twist in a movie.
Yeah, like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but like it's not right at the end. It's like about halfway.
I actually just saved a TikTok that was like, here's 5 of the best movies with a twist from 2022 or whatever.
And all have M. Night Shyamalan movies.
No,
I know they weren't, but
like one of them was like Glass Onion, which I have not watched yet.
I watched it last night.
Stop it! I didn't watch it yet. I don't want to. I've skipped everything about it.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yes,
about
you
it.
are.
I'm going to tell you
tell
it's
me
good.
Stuff about it. And I don't. That's all. No. Stop it.
This is not about. I mean, it is about Glass Onion. It is about Glass Onion, but it's not. So I don't know who the person was tweeting. But it was
You're
like,
gonna spoil something from this
no,
movie
I'm not.
for me.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
It's a mystery. That's what I'm gonna. So this person, Republican person, like voice far right person, like either Ted Cruz or Ben Shapiro or somebody like along those lines.
Some douche nozzle.
They tweeted how they hated the movie because it was deceiving.
Oh my god!
It's a fucking mystery. Obviously, it's deceiving.
Yeah.
You know why it's deceiving? Because it's a mystery. That's what a mystery is. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's the premise of a mystery.
Yeah.
You know it's a mystery. It's a whodunit. You're supposed to like look.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's really good. Just like the first one.
Yeah.
The first Knives Out. There's a third one in the works.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole deal, right? He struck this deal with Netflix to do 2 more.
Did the first one come out on Netflix?
No, the first one was a cinematic release.
Yeah.
And then it just did so well, and they were like, they just wanted in on the deal, so they made the deal with him to do 2. I actually wanted to see it because they did like a week-long theatrical release
of
Glass Onion.
Okay.
And I wanted to try to see it, and then of course like had no time. I think it was like the weekend I had like the concerts I sang in and whatever.
It's kind of weird why they call it Glass Onion, by the way. Like it makes sense, but it's like that's the name of the movie.
I mean, Knives Out is Knives Out because there's kind of knife references. Like and there's that thing with the knives, and he says knives out at one point. But
yeah, I mean, he says it makes sense, but like it's also like
I do plan. I'll probably watch it on like New Year's Eve or something because I don't have any plans. But
no, man, watch it tonight. Watch it now.
But But I watched. Well, how did we get on this?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I watched Squid Game recently for the first time when I had COVID. I watched all of that and
wow,
all
we
of
really changed subjects.
The new Jack Ryan.
Okay.
New season of Jack Ryan. It's good.
Yeah.
It's on Prime. Oh, we were talking about twists.
What's a twist? Oh yeah, because the album Ethel Cain, Preacher's Daughter, I think is the album name. Mm-hmm. It's really good. Go listen to it, but like sit down and listen to the whole thing. It's an hour and 16 minutes. I do think it's too long.
Okay.
Well, it's too long when I look at the time. Mm-hmm. As you actually listen to it, it's probably just the perfect length.
Okay.
Because after that twist, then it's like there's some tracks that are just trying to like take you down from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. It's a good record. You'll cry. I don't really know if you'll cry. I didn't cry, but like
you don't have a heart. So.
I don't have a heart. There are people who would probably be like, "Oh my god, it's heartbreaking."
Yeah. And Bo was like, "Well, if I ever get a human heart, and human license,
I will break it."
So we talking about two tunes?
We are talking about two tunes.
You're first.
I am first.
I remembered this week.
Yeah, because so long ago.
Yeah.
So remember that person who I found them through a TikTok.
Sure.
The End of the World song.
Yes.
Like the bombs go on.
Yep.
Yeah. This song sounds just like it. This song came out in a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They released their 10-year anniversary record of this, or version of it.
You know how, like... So I've never heard of this band.
I don't know if I had or not. But it was another one of those, like, it's on your playlist for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So you know that, like, when you'll never hear of something, and then all of a sudden you see it, you hear it, whatever. Yeah. It's like, I never see green cars, and then I get a green car. Now all I see is green cars, that kind of thing.
You don't have a green car. You have a white car.
No, I know. But it's that kind of idea, right?
Yeah.
Not that I'm seeing this band all the time now, but just yesterday I was on Basement is the band.
Yes.
I was looking up to buy something on vinyl, and the label that they are on, or at least some of what they are on, is featured, also has Basement on it. And I was like, what? Like, that's so strange. Like, I've never heard of this band.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you share this track with me because we're going to record a podcast about it, and now I'm seeing them like pop up, and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty wild. Just like cool coincidence. What's up?
Well, no, because I'm looking at. Oh my god, you got to look at this. This is okay. Just look up on Brooklyn Vegan the vinyl of this. It's beautiful. It's purple and black galaxy swirl.
Basement Brooklyn Vegan. Let's see what comes up. Indie Basement.
Nope. Just look at the color.
Basement
Color Me in Kindness is the album.
I'm trying.
Okay, I thought you were like, oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Ooh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, I bet it doesn't look like that in person.
Ooh. UK band Basement helped define the new wave of post-punk /
so
post-hardcore /
So they are post-hardcore.
Yeah, /
I guess. So they formed in 2009. They took a hiatus, went on a hiatus in 2012. After touring for this release, reunited 2 years later. And then the last album, but this is like they released a 10-year deluxe edition of this recently, and it's beautiful, and I'm probably going to buy it right now, but not right now. I need to listen to the album a little bit more. So this song, this is the thing that kind of like hit me as like, that's really cool, but also it sounds like that other song, which means that other song ripped off this because this came out 10 years ago. And it also still kind of sounds like what's the band? I can't think of the song.
It did remind me of somebody in a certain song, but now I can't remember.
It's the song that's at the end of Where Is My Mind? Who's that by?
Yeah. Pixies.
Pixies. So it
Yeah,
reminds me of
that's the
Pixies.
song. Yep.
Yeah,
That's exactly
so
it.
this I think I saw the name of the album or the name of the song Covet, and then thought of the band Covet,
Oh, yeah.
and I was
That's
like,
actually what I thought it was at first.
yeah,
'Cause
and
it-
you're like, we already did this one.
Yeah, well, I didn't even think about that, but it just was like, oh, yeah, Covet, I heard of them. But that's why
Yeah.
I heard of them.
So you're gonna get refresher. You'll be like, yeah, it does sound like that other stuff, but bands can sound the same.
Yeah.
I make a lot of I make a lot of new or more connections recently. Of like, I'm listening to the songs like, oh, that sounds like this song. Have you heard this song? And then I play it like guitar students. They're like, I'm trying to learn this song. It's like, oh, well, that's a whammy pedal, like Audio Slave. And then we play an Audio Slave song, and then Audio Slave leads me to somewhere else. I'm like, oh, and then this song. So like making a lot of connections of like, this sounds like this, sounds like this, sound like this.
That happens in jazz band a lot too. It's like, oh, this progression's like this other thing, this
Yeah.
song, and this,
Yeah.
and oh, this is inspired by this guy, and whatever. And, yeah.
So here is Covet by Basement off of the album, all one word, Color Me in Kindness. Which is like it.
Yeah.
It totally just like, I'm like, oh, when the bombs go off and they explode,
Yeah.
slow, sludgy. Like, this is probably grunge, right? If grunge was
Grungy,
was
yeah.
actually like a real genre, and then that that's like,
By the way, the label that they were on, as I realized when I was looking
Run
it
for
up,
Cover.
No, Fueled by Ramen.
Well, this was off of Run for Cover,
Right. But they're more recently off of Fueled by Ramen.
The new
Also,
stuff.
when you go to look up Fueled by Ramen's website, it's
Yeah.
just like a subsidiary of Electra Group.
Oh yeah.
So it's not even like a real website for them. It's kind of annoying.
It's just a. I mean, it started out as a real record label,
Yeah.
and then it went to just a subsidiary of
Yeah.
that, and then it's just like it's the label, like a label.
Yeah. But they've released a bunch of like 25th anniversary things,
Yeah.
like some of their big hits on vinyl, and they're silver. They're pretty cool. I want to get
Oh.
all of them.
That's cool. Like, the drums aren't that hard. It's just like grungy and heavy, and like
Yeah.
you're gonna sit down and hang out. I've also been listening to like the drums more and like where the hi-hat is
In the mix, you mean?
in the mix, because that'll like it's a thing that goes unnoticed because no one really cares except like maybe drummers, but it completely flips where the drummer is. Like, are you the drummer
Right.
or are you looking at the drummer?
Right.
And I like to, when I do mixes, I like to be the drummer. So I
Or
put the
this is a mix that is you are the drummer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I put if the hi-hat is on, well, really it's like, are you left-handed or right-handed?
No, but drummers always play the same way.
Yeah,
For the most part.
for the most part, the hi-hat is to the left. So if you hear a hi-hat and it's to the left, I drummer perspective.
Yeah.
And then if it's to the right, audience perspective.
Yeah, I definitely want to go listen to more of these guys.
Do you really?
Especially this album. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like this song.
Interesting. Like, I'm obviously going to listen to this and probably going to buy that vinyl. It's
Yeah,
so pretty.
same. Actually,
Just based
if
on
if I like
color.
the album enough, like I kind of want that to keep going, like another few bars.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, just because it's kind of
Okay.
interesting. I also want it to end slightly differently.
I don't want it to hit with the cymbals. I want to hit it with like just a thud, like or not that, but just a good doom, and then like it's in a warehouse, which it was getting there. Like just boost the reverb and hit on the floor tom and like one of the rack toms. So you like it?
Yeah.
Okay. As I'm re-listening to it, I'm like, I don't think that this is like super interesting. Like it doesn't.
It's not. It's kind of like I mentioned last week. We were sharks. It's not groundbreaking to me.
Yeah.
But it's comfort food for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, this is some good ass mac and cheese. Like
this is gonna be my my album to listen to next through, like straight through. Because I don't think I've actually heard all the way through.
Forgot.
But probably gonna listen to the deluxe anniversary, which just has 4 extra tracks, which is alternate versions of 4 of the songs.
Gotcha. I'm gonna save the regular version first.
That's probably only like 30 some minutes.
It is 33 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, the longer version is 45 minutes.
They're on a playlist called "This Is Super Heaven." Oh, I guess Super Heaven is a band. Or no, that's suggested. They're not on the playlist. They're suggested to listen to that. You might also like.
We're still in school.
There's also a "This Is Chino Moreno" playlist.
Did you know that he has a side project band?
I mean, I would assume
called
so.
Crosses.
Yeah, it's just 3 cross emojis, and then it says crosses.
Yeah.
Also, he's on a Trippie Redd song with Travis Barker. That's kind of cool. I'll listen to
he's
that.
also
like
on a Polyphia song.
Which that one, ABC.
You like
that's
that one?
so good. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool. My turn?
It is your turn.
Nice. Have you listened to Run the Jewels at all?
No.
Oh, man, they're so
and
good.
I mean, the way I said it kind of feels like, no, I hate rap.
No.
But it's not like, as I said earlier, maybe last week, I don't know. Everything's blending together. That, like, there are buzzwords. And, like, I don't like hip-hop as much as I should.
Here's a buzzword for you.
Yeah.
Entire album done as a Latin remix. Does that do anything for you?
Oh, no, not at all. But I mean, obviously,
it's cool though, right?
Yeah, it's super cool.
So that's what this is from. So, Run the Jewels. I should have done more research. I'm sorry, I have not. But people can look up Run the Jewels if you don't know them. But Killer Mike and LP are the MCs of the group, and they were both. I don't know how they came together. That's the part that I regret not having the research on.
Yeah.
But basically, they were both like doing their own thing, like as rappers and stuff and musicians, and then like somehow decided to collaborate and come together. And then they've released 4 albums, like specific ones, like just RTJ, RTJ2, RTJ3, RTJ4.
Yeah.
They have like specific branding with like this thing,
the
hand signs, and each album is like different color scheme and different stuff. And then there have been like remixes of their album, like of certain songs, but also of like albums and stuff too. And all 4 of their albums are great. Like they're really, really good, production wise, like rapping wise, I guess, if that kind of makes sense. Like lyrically, they're both really good. They're very socially conscious. They're just really, really good. I really, really like them a lot. I did not get on board with them fully until about RTJ 3, their 3rd album from a few years ago. Like I had kind of heard about them a little bit, and then just like didn't really like do my due diligence and listen. Yeah. And then I did, and I'm just all in. And like anytime I see them pop up with anything, I'm like, yep, give me it. Let me check it out. So RTJ 4 is their latest like specific album. That came out last year, I think. I should double check this.
2023? 2022?
2021.
So 2 years
what I mean
ago.
To say.
We need to start just saying.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2020.
Oh, wow.
2020. June 30th, 2020. Okay, so it's been a minute. I didn't realize it was even that long. And then just recently in, I want to say November, I want to find out, November of 2022, they released RTJ Quattro, which is the whole album RTJ 4 done with Latinx artists and producers and different stuff. So it's a whole Latin remix of the whole album, and it's really great. And so some of that means just the background is different, like just the backing music is a bit different. Some of it means now we've got this guy on it as well, like doing a verse or whatever. It's kind of depends on who they were collaborating with on the different tracks. All the title, well, not all the titles, but some of the titles are kind of changed as well to be in Spanish, or at least partially in Spanish. But yeah, and the whole thing's great. Like, it's all good. So it's like, take a really good album, remix it, and like, remix isn't even like necessarily the best way to put it, but that's kind of the best way to put it. And like, either add stuff or just change the beat a little bit or change the background. It's so good. This track, probably again, like privacy bias, this was the first one I heard because I listened to it straight through and I was like instantly hooked. So
well, which one do you want me to play first?
So would you play the original first? I just wanted people to hear what the original one sounds like.
Are we playing all the way through?
No, like a minute or so. So this is the first track off of RTJ 4, called Yankee and the Brave, episode 4.
Do they have a Yankee and the Brave on every album?
Well, you know what? I should look. I'm kind of wondering.
Because like Kendrick Lamar's song that he, like, part 5, I forget what the actual name of the thing is, but he does that. But it's not like, apparently what that is like he's setting up the next release with this.
The answer is no.
Okay. So it's just an episode 4.
It just says episode, and I've never noticed that it says episode 4, by the way.
Okay.
Before this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just like a subtitle because it's like their 4th album or whatever.
Maybe.
But anyway, so here's a little bit of that so you can kind of hear what it sounds like.
This week on Yankee and the Brave.
Back at it like a crack addict, Mr. Black Magic, crack a bitch back, chiropractic, craftmatic, big daddy smoking big Cali in a black alley in a black granddaddy rolling down old natty how napping Matty as a black granddaddy all back, no cabin fat black.
This is Killer Mike, by the way.
No flapping wave runner, I'm a gunner, I'ma have your block hot as a sunner all summer, and I put that on Osama and my motherfucking mama. I'ma terrorize the actors playing like they want some drama. I'ma chop 'em with a chopper till I motherfucking drop 'em.
This is LP.
I'm back, I'm magically racking it. That's when I'm ducking rat-a-tat-tats. I'm running a truck over sucker shit. Matter of fact, it's the ass and even the crack. Automatic facts, it's like that. Scam of bliss when you put in villains in charge of shit.
So you get a sense. You can pause it here, but you get a sense of like what the production's like on this track, right? The backing stuff is more about like pulse and beat as opposed to like specific melodic ideas happening in the background. Yeah.
There's no chords,
and it's just about them lyrically like coming at you and hitting hard. It's like first track, like it's a great first track, like hits you hard, you know. So yeah, that's the original, and then this is TROOKO's version. TROOKO is a producer, I guess.
You should do some research.
I should. I'm sorry. I apologize. I did not.
Well, here's TROOKO's version.
Yeah.
This week.
Esta semana en Yankee y Valiente.
Yankee Valiente.
So they're changing channel.
And then sounds like it's going to be the same. Oops. Drums that weren't there before. I was in. As soon as that bass line hit and then like the congas and stuff, I was like, oh hell yeah. Nothing lyrically has changed at all. I think they just took the track, like the vocal track, and just laid it on this, but like it fits so great.
I'm back, I'm magically racking it. That's when I'm ducking rat-a-tat-tats. I'm running a truck over sucker shit. Matter of fact, it's the ass and even the crack.
Just the use of Latin percussion stuff is so cool. And then that bass line, which has like this, like I'm sure there's a term I don't know.
Yeah.
But like kind of a Montuno-ish thing. Latin music is one of those things that like we say Latin music and like we kind of barely scratched the surface of what that actually means, and it's so much more diverse than what we.
I got 1 round left, 100 cops outside. I could shoot at them or put one between my eyes. Chose to lie, it don't matter, it ain't suicide. And if the news say it was, that's a goddamn lie. I couldn't let them pigs kill me, I got too much pride. And I meant it when I said it, never take me alive.
I got the granddad running in the alley outside. The mic will run like you hungry and get your ass in a ride. I'd rather have and I need you.
I hate to talk over it too. We've talked about this before with hip hop stuff. Like, it's so lyrically driven.
Oh yeah.
That like.
You get the bastard surprise, and that's more honest than your whole life in a fraction of time. I didn't get.
They're both so good though too. Like to get these two guys who are both such good MCs and like good lyrically and stuff, and the fact that they just was like, yeah, we'll collaborate. We're gonna make this project.
Got the drop, I put lead in his eye. Plus we heard he murdered a black child, so none of us cried. Yankee and the brave in here. Everybody hit the deck. We don't mean no harm, but we truly mean all the disrespect.
Quattro.
There's TROOKO signature. I think we talked about that before, like the vocal signatures needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's so good. The whole album, killer. Again, like you took a great album, you remixed it in a you know, coming from a different perspective and stuff. It's so well done. Like I really, really like it. And I've been listening to it as an album, like full on a lot, because it's been so good, like since it came out basically. Yeah, I'm really, really into it. Yeah, very socially conscious, as you can hear there in some of the lyrics and stuff. There's a song later called Just, it's J-U and then it's $T, that has Pharrell and Zach De La Rocha on it. And that one like references about like, look at all these slave masters on your dollars and stuff, and it's like, yep, you're not wrong. But yeah, they're a great group in general. I would highly recommend anybody check them out. They've got 4 albums plus, like we said, like remixes and different stuff, and then the RTJ Quattro is really, really fun. So yeah, I dig it.
I should listen to more Run the Jewels because I've heard nothing.
Man, they're so good.
Nothing but great things.
Yeah.
And also looking at their featured list. It's like, yeah.
That's it's like it's like all so good. Like
Zach De La Rocha is like on every record. By them. Well, not.
Well, maybe. And they toured together recently. When Rage did their like, I don't know, reunion tour, or whatever they just did. Run the Jewels was like the primary opener for them.
Yeah.
And like those aesthetics fit super well together. Also, like just socially conscious and even like musically works, you know, together pretty well. So yeah, you should definitely check them out more. They have. Can I play this thing? Of course I can.
You can try.
They are on a track with DJ Shadow.
Okay.
It's on DJ Shadow's album. And let me find it real quick. It's called the album is called The Mountain Will Fall. Oh, I thought it was the opening track. I guess it's the second track. The Mountain Will Fall is the opening track, but the song is called Nobody Speak. You'll probably recognize the whatever riff or whatever he has from it, but I just need you to hear the opening lyric because it's one of those things of like, I'm surprised somebody hasn't done this on TikTok yet, when they have those things like, what's the best like opening lyric to a song? And it's like, it's this is the one. Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Do you know what the first lyric is though? No. Just wait.
Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips.
Yeah.
Great opening line. But it's a good track too.
Yeah.
And they're just so good. Both of them are really great. I actually want to get into listening to like LP stuff and Killer Mike stuff, like some of their older stuff.
Yeah.
Like sort of before they were Run the Jewels. They also, I think Killer Mike is currently working on a new solo thing as well. But yeah, they're just so good. They're both really good in the band and whatever. I don't know. Again, I should have done some freaking research, but like, do they primarily work with like one producer, Like, is Run the Jewels more than just those two guys? Is there a producer as well?
I think it's just them. Well,
I think it's just them too.
LP stands for what is it?
Oh, like the El Producto,
Yeah,
like the producer, basically. Yeah. So maybe it is that like they kind of produce their own stuff, and I'm sure they work with other people too. Like that's kind of the hip hop thing is you work, you're the MC, but you also work with producers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're really great. I've been kind of, well, I don't know if I've been saving them, but I was thought about saving this album and thinking if we did like some kind of remix episode or whatever, and I was like, nah, just get it out there. So yeah, that's it. Anything else?
Nope.
Cool.
All about the record.
You bought the record? The Basement album?
Yeah.
Nice.
In purple. They also have like a bone in orange.
Okay.
It's just white.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look for Ethel Cain's.
Gotcha.
Which, by the way, you got to come over here.
Okay.
So you're gonna be off mic.
All right. Oh, I have to do it on the pod?
Never mind.
Do it
all
after.
right. We'll join the Discord.
Follow us on Instagram.
Share, like, subscribe.
Do all the things.
All the things.
Tell a friend.
Tell two.
Interact on social media is helpful.
Just
like a
tag us.
story, tag us, like a post.
Repost it. I've been
Repost
doing
it is
that
cool.
lately. With anything that I think is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just reposting it, and like they're like, hey, thanks for doing this, and
Yeah.
getting some interaction with other
Engagement, as they call it.
Yeah.
It helps. So, thank you. Thanks for listening.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.